everybody. Okay, I'm rocking and rolling. Hello, there is my friend Farnoosh Tarabi. Hello, Farnoosh, if you happen to be watching this at some point. You are part of my inspiration Periscope. So hello, I was just about to retire here for the evening, and I realized that I hadn't done my Periscope for today. Holy cow! Hey, welcome back, Berndero. Nice to see you. So I had the pleasure of recording for Farnoosh's So Money podcast. If you don't know her podcast yet, you absolutely have to check it out. She is at farnoosh.tv, and it's FARNOOSH. T.tv, and then she has the So Money podcast, and you absolutely just want to have the podcast app on your phone, download the recent podcasts. I've listened to so many of them. I mean, from Tony Robbins, David Bach, Gretchen Rubin, to Millionaires Next Door, the whole bit. And I'm trying on a new microphone, and I don't love that it has to plug in underneath, and I don't have my tripod handy. But anyway, so we recorded today, and I'm excited. It comes out in about 3 weeks or so, and I will definitely share it with all of you. And what I want to talk about today, and over time, I talked a little bit yesterday about our money stories. That was actually a really interesting part of our session today. But what I want to talk about is more about the bigger lesson in getting the opportunity, because Farnoosh was an introduction to me from Selena Sue, who's I guess you call her a publicity coach. She's just an all-around amazing woman, and she had done the introduction, and then I helped Farnoosh with what her last book. It was When She Makes More, and I did it because I thought it was a really good book and love the idea of really helping women who are successful in their careers to be able to feel more successful in their relationships and not feel held back like they have to make less money than their partners. You'd be amazed at how big a deal that really is in terms of women needing support around that. I work a lot with couples. Hey, Farnoosh, how are you? Awesome. Welcome. I was just saying that I had helped you promote your book, and I was raving about your book and your podcast. So hello there. Hello. So when I was about to head out for the night, thanks. I was about to head out for the night, and I realized I hadn't done my Periscope, and I was thinking about the highlights of my day and recording the scope with you. Can't wait to air it. Fantastic. Let me know when it's airing. I think we said something around September 22nd, but once you figure it out, definitely let me know, and I'll, scope on it. There we go, September 22nd. I remembered right. So I'll be sure to scope about it and send some listeners your way. So one of the things I was just sharing, Farnoosh, is that, we had gotten introduced through Selena, and that I really believed in your book. And I don't know if I've ever shared this with you, but I was one of those initial subscribers who had bought the Psych Yourself Rich. Still have that one. And I don't know, I think, oh yeah, you did sign it. Look at that. So great to meet you. How about that? I think I had actually bought it, 5 years ago. Crazy stuff, huh? I had actually bought it independently. I'd seen you on the Today Show. And then when I knew that you were going to be at the women's conference and I was speaking there and you were speaking there, it just seemed so perfect to bring the book. And so what I was sharing was just that when it comes to our industry, it's not about, in our industry, I really just mean almost like all industries, but we're both in the financial wealth expert field, that it's so important to come from a place of collaboration and not competition, and be willing to support each other and help each other get our messages out there, because there's just so many people who need what we have. Unity, absolutely. You go, girl. And there's just so many people that need help, and we've decided to help people around their money and in a lot of ways, their self-esteem with money. And that goes, though, also for people who are helping with so many other things, with health, with relationships, that you don't know, what listener is going to take to what voice to be able to share their messages. And then I've just found that it's so important to keep exposing my readers to new and different people that they might be interested in too. And so I had promoted Farnoosh's book way back, not with an intention of what was going to come back to me, but really because I believed in her book and I wanted to help her get the message out there. It takes a village. It totally does. And I feel like that's why, when we have opportunities and when we have something where we believe in the message, that it's important for us to share our wisdom and share our platform in some ways, with other people who can also be helping our readers. And I will, from time to time have people who are specialists in health or in relationships or in other fields, because if I'm committed to having a rich life, it's not just in the area of money. That's certainly a key part, and that becomes the in for personal development that I've chosen, but that there's so many areas that you may be willing to work on. And so I wanted to share that with all of you tonight, with the idea that, how can you take this idea of collaboration and pay it forward in your field? I mean, I've promoted people, just all sorts of things, shared their posts, shared their articles because I really liked them and because I felt like my readers and followers would really get something from it. So where can you do that more so that it doesn't have to just be about direct self-promotion, but it can really be from a place of generosity with your readers and your followers so that they can have an opportunity to, like Zig Ziglar says, yes, be a go-giver. Exactly. Sometimes, we focus on being a go-getter, and I love how Zig talks about being a go-giver and really giving first. And when we do that, then you're just open to, whatever can come your way moving forward. And, you don't do it from a place of what am I going to get? You do it from a place of what can I give? So, awesome. So that's the messaging for tonight. It's really how can we look to do that in our jobs, in our businesses, in our industry, in a whole new way. Farnoosh, I didn't even think ahead that you would be on, but one of the messages, glad to catch you, thanks so much, is really then taking a few extra minutes to follow through on the relationship. So you're going to get a little thank you card. Oh, you're stuck in traffic. Go figure. You live in the New York City area. But to follow up, right? And so I have a little thank you note that I'm penning to now. So I'll email you to get your current mailing address. You don't have to give it to me now online. Don't worry. And just that it's important to keep doing that and to look for those opportunities in our lives and in our businesses to be able to really serve and to help others. I feel like it's more obvious in terms of, thank you, I'll scope when I get your letter. Fantastic. Well, thanks. We'll just keep giving back and forth. It's a win-win. But that we follow through on the relationships. I mean, I know I still have places to go to get better at that, but every time I do, it's almost like I pat myself on the back, and I know that there's more places I can go, and that it's just really going to be essential as I keep growing and keep expanding my own platform and keep serving more people, is to be able to bring more and different voices to my readers so that they can continue to learn and share these insights. And it's interesting, there's certainly a lot of similarities in what we all share around wealth in terms of pay yourself first and live within your means and all of that. But I feel like you never know what voice is going to say just the right thing that will help shift you into action. And my ultimate goal is to have you claim your financial freedom, and hopefully you'll hear it from me, and I'll be the one that'll just tap in and zoom right in to have you move. But sometimes it's somebody else that helps move you a little bit forward on the path, and then it's the 18th email that you get from me over the year that then has you take action. We just never know. So thanks very much, everybody. Thanks for joining. Farnoosh, thanks for joining as well. Good luck in your traffic. I'm hoping that you're not driving, given that you're texting, unless you're doing a little bit of the Siri talking, which is understandable as well. But thanks all for joining. And then I'd love to hear from you. Have you had any opportunities where you've paid it forward, or where you've, reached out to somebody to support you, or to support them first, and then being open to whatever came back after that? I'd love to hear. I know there's a bunch of you that are on. It can look so many different ways. It can look like it happens at your parents' school. It can happen in your business. It can happen in your job with like a mentor or a colleague. Any experiences you want to share real quick here before we go? And thanks so much for the hearts, and thanks for tuning in. I know it's a little bit late, even for me. I'm about to head to bed, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've been so good about periscoping every day. I want to do a quick scope, and that was definitely one of the highlights from today. Hello there, Dreamadon. Yeah, if you haven't shared this, then certainly swipe across or swipe down, and please share it. Hey there, Dreamadon. Welcome, welcome. Thanks so much for joining. We're about to wrap up, but certainly you can access the replay now, or make sure you follow me so then you can see all the replays. But what I was just sharing was that I had helped Farnoosh with her book launch a while ago, and even been a fan and a reader of hers from it turns out 5 years ago. Her book came out. I forget, I've been doing this for 8 years now. And that I supported her because I believed in her message, and I really wanted to bring her voice to my readers. And then now, years later, she gave me an opportunity today to record for her podcast, which is the #1 financial podcast, or voted the #1 financial podcast out there. And I'm following in the footsteps of some of my, mentors, just, I don't know, gurus kind of, but the people that I love and I follow, like Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki, David Bach, just some amazing, amazing people that she's had on. And so I'm honored to be in that group. So do you all have any other questions or any other feedback that you want to share here before we go? Maybe a situation where you paid it forward and how that's worked out, or just really how you felt in doing it. Okay, well, I think we should call this a sleepy scope. But thanks very much, everybody. Take care. Thanks for joining, and have a wonderful night. And tomorrow, why don't you look to see either where you can pen your own thank you note. Here's mine. Thank you for the hearts. Where you can pen your own thank you note, and look to pay it forward in your life in a whole new way. So thanks very much. Take care, everybody. Have a great night. Bye-bye.